Hey, so I just got back from going to the 17th door. God. Um, sorry. A little shook up. I changed my shirt there at the parking lot. I thought ahead and knew to bring a change of clothes because I got soaked. But I didn't think ahead enough to be like, wait a minute, how am I going to change my pants in the parking lot without getting in the car? So I just put like a hoodie down in the seat and sat on that. But I changed my shirt because you're gonna get soaked. This is gonna be spoilers galore. I just want to tell you everything about what that experience because that was the most extreme haunt thing that I've done. I have gone to blackout a few times, like a few different years, um, and uh, and like a few other things. I haven't done like McCamey Manor. I don't plan to. I don't want to go that far with this stuff. If you do, that's on you, or whatever. But like, I like the extreme haunts that are more like this level. This was perfect. This was like right on my limits of like enjoyment for me. Um, uh, I'm glad I went. I don't know if I would do it again because it was literally terrifying. I literally thought I was gonna die. Um, and I go to a bunch of scary stuff. I watch all the scary movies. I make scary art. I don't usually freak out so much when push comes to shove. Um, but I don't know. I'll tell you everything that I remember. Anyways, some bits of it are a little like the in between stuff might be a little out of order and stuff. But like, um, I okay. So it was my first time going. Um, First thing you're gonna notice is all the warnings. Pay attention to the warnings because you're gonna experience all of those things. Obviously, I don't know if you know this, but yeah, all of those things are in the ride, or in not the ride, but they're in the event. And I kind of knew that. I knew like where the bruises and stuff thing was going to come from. I think they have a warning about that. I'm like, oh, okay, because I read a thing about in previous years. I'll tell you right now, all the things. So don't watch this video if you don't want spoilers. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna tell you everything that happened this year. It's 2021. It's all COVID themed, by the way. But they didn't like make like any like sickness pranks or gags. Thankfully, there was nothing about that. There was no vomit. There was no uh, I don't know, sick things. Nobody was pretending to cough or anything like that. Thankfully, there was none of that. It was just about like the story was about like the main character girl was supposed to be released, but she wasn't. And their reasoning, their excuse was that COVID happened. You might have COVID, and then she's like, oh, and he's like, well, let me check, and he's like, where's my meat thermometer? And like, what I mean? There's like some rape scenes happen uh, with like they close the blind or whatever, and like you see like the silhouettes go at it. Um, but then like I don't even know where to start. All right. So uh, I won't go through it room by room. Actually, I'll just tell you the big stuff. Okay, the big scary shit. All right. Don't go through it if you're uncomfortable. If you're if you're like at all homophobic or anything like that. Because it's gonna be a guy with a dildo that rubs it against you and rubs his body against you and everything. That's gonna happen. What happened to me? I don't think it happened to anybody else in the group. What happened to me? And then there's uh, what else? There's like if you're claustrophobic, and with me, I don't think I'm very claustrophobic, but like I think about the other stuff that's going to happen when I'm in that tight space, because tight space is one thing, but then they have you in there and they do something else. So they do that a lot. Whenever you go into a tight space, it's gonna be something else. Um, and there's a point where they go like, all right, after this line, you can't use the safety word because we can't get you out of the thing. So If you want to leave now, leave now. After you cross the line, you're in the thing for the rest of it. And I was like, oh shit, what the hell's gonna happen? And I went past the line just to see what the fuck is in the next room, and it was like these chambers with like diameter meters, like you know the things with the arrows that go, you know, all next to the chambers, and individual chambers. And I'm like, what's gonna? They're gonna do something when they get rid of the air or something. And like, I don't know what the hell's gonna happen there. I was like, I think I should go. I don't know. And I went with a friend, and he was already in the thing. And he looked at me like, where are you going? I'm like, I don't know. And the woman that was working there was like, no, you crossed the line. You're already going in. You're going in. And I'm like, all right. So I saw my friends here. I'm like, I can't. What am I going to do? All right. So I go in the thing. I'm like, shit. And I see behind me there's a vertical slot. This is like the very end of the thing. There's a vertical slot. This is the most scary bit. Okay. So if this is no problem for you, you're going to be fine. There's a vertical slot behind you. And I look through the vertical slot and like, there's something back there. And previously, there was rooms where they literally flip you around. Like they'll you know that scene in the Nightmare on Elm Street where the room turns? Well, basically, like she's going up the wall, but the room is turning. Basically, that's how they filmed it. They literally turn the entire room, and they turn it sharply, and there's no like seat belts or anything. You know, you just fall back against the wall. So I thought they were going to do something like that, and I was going to fall back, and I don't know what the hell it's going to fall into. It's going to go into some other zone, something, and I don't know how deep that hole is or whatever I'm going to fall into. It's going to keep falling and falling. So I was thinking about that, and they do like these sounds, and they flash some lights at you, and the sounds are like the opening to Mario Kart, where it's like dun, 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 but it goes louder and louder and louder, and it keeps going dun, dun, and it's going louder and louder, and it's covering my ears because it got so fucking loud, and I was just like, Jared, and then they do something. I think they do drop the thing to make you fall back, and you fall back. And, you know, I'm covering my ears. I didn't even, like, brace myself because of what I wanted to do. So I just fall back. I figured I'm going to fall flat on my back. And I ended up falling. You fall back into a ball pit. It's all black balls. And it's just a ball pit, like at McDonald's or something. And I was like, oh, thank God. And it wasn't even that far of a fall. It was, like, going from, like, standing to flat on the ground. So it sounds like a lot, but, you know, you have all those balls, so it's just like, boom, you know. And, okay, so that was that bit. And I thought, okay, the whole thing's over now. That had to be the scariest bit. Because there was all that lead up and everything. But there's one more room. Before talking about that one, I just remembered there was other parts, too. Bear mention. If you're afraid of cockroaches, they're going to go after you with the cockroach. So, yeah. There's a room with cockroaches, live cockroaches. There's also a lady with them in the lines. It's like crawling around her in her arms. Just kind of cute. See the cockroach crawling around. I don't have a problem with the bugs. I think they're like almost like pets to me. So I didn't have a problem with that. But I know some people did. Definitely. Okay, the really painful thing is electric shocks. You know they're going to shock you, right? Well, I think it's smart to possibly get a full group to go so that they won't shock you. Because what happens is you choose who gets shocked. And it was just me and a friend and like 4 or 5 other people. So guess who got shocked? I got shocked. They all chose me to get shocked the first round, and it was extremely painful because it was like multiplied. You know what I mean? Like each of them, like I don't know if it was that it was like one after the other. I think they did it all at once, and so it was just one big, really big shock. Not one though, but they did it like a bunch of times. But it was like all of that same level. It was painful. Like I felt it You feel it in your balls because you're sitting on the seat and it shocks you and it feels like your balls are on fire. Like I literally felt like, fuck. Like I don't know if I'm gonna have kids immediately after this, anyways. I don't know. Hopefully, there's no lasting damage. I don't know. But yeah, you feel that. I literally would. I was like, trying to get the fuck out of the seat, but they have the harness over you, so you're like, I was literally thrusting out with my pelvis to get the hell out of the seat. That was painful. That was really painful. The other shocks, because then there were subsequent rounds, and so I know that first round they all did it, because the next few times it was like maybe one little light shock, or like, it was like, and I was like, oh, that's not too bad. Like I didn't even jump out of the seat or anything. In the next few rounds they did it. Just the first one was just like, and I was like, fuck. I don't know if to blame the other people in the group, or if there's like somebody behind the scenes like that picks one person for the first round that like really gets it. That might be it too, just to scare the other people. That might be it. But I was literally like yelling. It made me yell. I wasn't like scared yelling. I was like yelling in pain. I was like, "Wow!" You know, like you do when you're in pain. And then this is a really long video. I'm sorry. So much to talk about. Okay, those were like the big things for me. Was that the airsoft gun bit? I knew it was coming because I read about it in previous years. They did it, and I was like, oh, they're going to do that here. And I was scared that it was going to like knock your eyes out or something. Or, you know what I mean? Like in that scene in The Christmas Story, with the BB gun. But because I don't know what the hell airsoft is like. But they're like ping pong ball sized Nerf balls. They're just like really, really soft. I don't know if they're like spongy or if they're plastic, but so I didn't get a look at them. They make you face the wall. And I was literally like, covering my eyes like this because I was scared about my eyes getting shot out. But then you're looking down, because I'm looking down, and I see the laser sight of the gun, and it's just between my legs. So they're just going for your ass. Like that's all they do with those things, and that's what as you go through it, you get to use the guns to shoot the other people, and so everybody just shoots people in the ass. It's the whole thing with that. Usually, I mean, some people might go for like the back of the head or whatever, but I think most people go for the ass. And then the last room, okay? Because those are the only really big things that were like really freaky to me. Anyways, there's a few other really good scares, but I won't talk about them because they're just really good scares. They're really well done, and they're not like traumatic or anything. They're not like something where you're like, oh, I don't know if I should do this then. You know what I mean? Those were just good quality scares. And props to them for making those things. Those were literally good props. And actors and everybody. And like the mechanics of it all. It's freaking cool. They did a lot of engineering stuff to it behind the scenes. With the last room, the 17th door, right? The last door, because there's 17 rooms or whatever, right? I think. The last one, you go through the whole like falling backwards thing. I thought that was the end. I was all giddy and yay, okay, we survived, we did it, guys. And they're like, okay, against the wall, and in front of us are these tunnels. And you see the tunnels. And they're about 10 feet long, and there's a metal grate on the bottom that you see, and a door with bars at the end of the tunnel with a padlock. And she goes, the code is 2119. Okay, remember that. The code is 2119. You're gonna open the door as fast as you can. Okay. When I say go, you go. And so I was like, oh shit. Like, cause like you're like, okay, we gotta go. Like you don't even. I don't know if like other people would think about it, but like I was just like, okay, we gotta go. We gotta. Don't even think about it. I'm gonna dive into the tunnel. I'm gonna go for the padlock as fast as possible. I know something is probably gonna happen that I don't like, but I'm just gonna try to get the fuck out of there with the padlock. I'm not good with not padlock. It was like the padlocks too, where it's like you're rolling the keys. So that takes a while, and it's hard to do because you're like, you know what I mean, like on luggage, like a luggage kind of thing, or a briefcase, you know. And so I typed in the first number, and I was doing the second number, and before I even got the second number in out of 4, somebody tapped on the cage and was like, "Oh no, we changed the number. That's not the right number. She gave you the wrong one. It's 1112. It's 1112." I'm like, "Wait, it's 11." So I have 1112, and I was changing it, and I still didn't even get the second number in, and then this thing presses on your back from above you, and it's just, and I'm like, okay, all right, it's a little uncomfortable now. I'm a little squeezed in, and I'm like, numbers. And then somebody taps on the cage again, and they're like, now that the number is actually 9 something, blah, 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 and she said some other numbers. I didn't even hear her, because the thing is like pressed against you, and it's like covering like one ear. And I'm like, and then water comes up from the bottom, and it's flooding up, and it covers your hands, it covers the padlock. You can't even see the padlock anymore. Keeps going and keeps going, keeps rising. You're squeezed in, and it comes up to my mouth, and I'm like, I can still breathe through my nose, and then I can't breathe through my nose anymore. And I was just like, I'm holding my breath. I'm like, it can't last too long, right? We gotta let us out of here. And I'm holding my breath, and like your heart's racing, and you're scared, and like your adrenaline's running through you, so you can't hold your breath in that state for that long. So I immediately started and I pressed against the thing as hard as I could, and you have to like push. Like you have to be good at planks, get some ab core muscle strength before going in there. You gotta push really hard back against the thing that pushes against your back, and then you lift your head up, and you can breathe. You'll breathe fine, and you got like a couple inches of space. And I was literally like, holy shit. And then after a bit of that, then the doors open, and they let you out, and the water all drains out, and you just fall out practically, and like soaking wet from head to toe, because you were in a flooded tunnel. And that was it. Literally thought I was going to die. We all did. You have to have some survival instinct to make it out of there. Because, like, holy shit. If I didn't think to press against the thing, or if I just kind of, like, accepted it or whatever, I would have been dead. Like, literally, if I didn't push, and, like, try, I would have been dead. I mean, I don't know if I would have been dead, but, like, I wouldn't have been able to breathe, and then they would have probably had to like shut the ride down or whatever and pull me out and like try to resuscitate me or whatever. Because I had the water over my nose and everything, and but anyways, yeah. If you have a small frame, like one of the girls did in the group, I don't know. I didn't talk to her, but I don't know how she did with it. Like I feel like it. Would have had to like go even further back, push. Like, I don't know, but yeah, it's fun. I recommend it. Definitely go. Definitely bring some unsuspecting people. Don't tell them what I told you, and bring a change of clothes. You'll do fine. See ya on the other side if you make it.